Hola and welcome to another video from Fiso Yoga. A few weeks ago, I taught a face-to-face class and I brought across the concept of bhavana. So bhavana are the moving pictures that come through your head, and they're the stories that you tell throughout your life in different situations, in different circumstances. We all have stories that we tell ourselves, and these either hinder or they help our lives. They can either motivate you or demotivate you. And we can't always think positively, but I guess being a little bit more aware of what these thoughts are and the stories that we're telling ourselves, we can possibly change the outlook that we have on life. We're going to start off this practice lying down. So I'll get you to make yourself comfortable. And I guess just before I start, there's no need to have any aids with you. So, if you've got a block handy, please have that handy. Otherwise, there's not much else that you need. So making ourselves comfortable, we're going to start off in Shavasana. So having our arms at our sides, our palms facing up, our legs spread, and just having everything totally relaxed. And just taking a few breaths. If Ujjayi breath is within your practice, just starting to utilize that slight constriction of the throat. And starting to bring the feet together, allowing them to stretch towards the end of the mat. And then taking your arms up above you, and again stretching those towards the end of the mat. I'm going to get you to take your feet to the right-hand side, and your arms to the right-hand side, and just create that little banana shape, keeping the hips down flat on the mat, and just stretching towards the right-hand side. If you'd like a little bit more, take your left foot on top of your right ankle, and that might create a little bit more of a stretch. And slowly moving back to center, moving the feet over to the left-hand side. And again, the arms to the left, creating that banana shape. And if you want a little bit more, taking that right ankle, placing it on top of the left. And then slowly moving back to center. We're going to come and create a little ball, so bring the knees into the chest. And then just grabbing an alternate shin and rocking from side to side. So just from left to right, just a gentle rocking. And grabbing the backs of the thighs and rocking on the spine back and forward. Eventually making your way into a seat, coming over and creating that tabletop position. So bringing the knees underneath the hips, the hands or wrists underneath the shoulders. And we're just going to move the shoulders around the wrists. So just creating little circles around, making sure the palms don't leave the mat. And moving them around the other way. And coming back to center, to stationary. Now, I've learnt about a new muscle group that's underneath the arms that helps with the stability of the shoulders, the serratus anterior. So this muscle, it comes underneath, joins into the ribs and moves it around to the back, and it provides a lot of stability in the shoulders. And looking that we're going to be doing a lot of downward dogs and having some weight into the hands or the wrists and the arms, this obviously translates to the shoulders. Keeping them as stable as possible is in our best interests. So in order to warm them up or to turn the muscle on, we're just going to push through the shoulders, creating a dome with the spine or the back. So we're not quite coming into cat, which is tucking everything in, but we're just pushing the upper back towards the ceiling. So feeling all the muscles slowly activating and releasing, dumping into the shoulders, creating a straight back, and once again pushing into the back. And release. Now just bringing the shoulders forward of the wrists, so just feeling a slight stretch in the back of the wrists, keeping the fingers spread, and feel like you're slightly gripping the mat. So a few of the knuckles might come up a little bit.
and releasing, coming back, and once more just forward. And mind you, if this is too much on the wrists or shoulders, moving the hands back 1 hand's breadth towards the knees will bring a little less weight, and you can bring most of your weight supported onto the knees. Alright, releasing, coming back onto the heels, keeping the feet tucked in. We're going to bring our hands in prayer in front of us, and then just create little circles as if you're opening a book, keeping the bottom of the wrists joined together and moving them around in little circles. So this movement may challenge some of us with our motor skills, and just changing the direction, moving the other way. But do it as best you can, just bringing some mobility to the wrists and shaking them off, coming down back to your tabletop position. We're going to now come into a few cat-cows, so traditional cat-cows. So bringing the gaze up as you untuck the tailbone, pulling the chest through the gateway of the shoulders. Take a deep breath in here. And exhaling, now we're tucking everything in, forming that cat shape. So chin, chest, and tailbone. And breathing in, opening up. Exhaling, tucking everything in. So creating that cat shape once more, breathing in, gaze comes up. And exhaling, tucking everything in. Nice. Keep the toes tucked in, moving the hands towards the top of the mat, then lifting the knees, bring the hips up, forming your first downward dog. So that is your first. Feel free to go through the motions, bending alternate knees, maybe moving through the hips, maybe taking the heels to one side and other. And once you've had a little bit of movement, coming to a stationary downward dog and trying to open the shoulders by turning the arms out and trying to get the chest in towards the thighs. Staying here for one more breath. On your next in-breath, we're raising the right leg up to the ceiling. And then taking that knee through, stepping it forward, placing the foot between the hands, dropping the left knee, bring the arms up, Anjayasana. Maybe looking at the hands, and then as you exhale, bring the hands down to frame the front foot. We're stepping forward, and as you inhale, slowly straightening up and taking the arms up to the ceiling. Allow the hands to meet in prayer, and exhale, bring them down to your heart. Inhale, straighten the arms, reach. Exhale, forward fold, bring the chest down to the thighs. And then taking that left foot in the same exhale, dropping the left knee. Inhale, take the arms up, Anjayasana. And exhale, frame the front foot. Stepping back with the right foot into your plank position. So here we're going to pause, taking a breath in and bring the shoulders slightly forward. And as you exhale, dropping the knees, bending through the arms, keeping the elbows tucked in and forming a little figure 8. Bring the chin, chest, knees down. Inhale and scoop the chest up, coming into your baby cobra. And exhale, pushing the hips back through the knees, forming downward dog. Inhale, take your left foot up to the ceiling. Exhale, take that knee through, placing the left foot down between the hands. Drop the right knee. Inhale, bring the arms up, Anjayasana. And exhale, frame the front foot. Step forward. Inhale, slowly straighten, reach with the arms. Hands meet in prayer, and exhale, bring them down to your heart. Inhale, straighten, reach. Exhale, fold forward. As the hands meet the ground, take a step back with the right foot, drop the right knee. Inhale, take the arms up. And exhale, frame the front foot as you step back with the left. Pausing here in your high plank. Inhale, allow the shoulders to come slightly forward. And either keeping the knees off the mat or dropping them back down. Exhale, come through your chaturanga, your half push-up. Inhale, upward dog. And exhale, downward dog. Inhale, takes the right foot up. Exhale, draw the knee through, step it through, dropping the right foot between the hands. Inhale, crescent lunge as you reach with the hands. And exhale, frame the front foot, step forward. Inhale, reaching with the hands. Hands meet in prayer. Exhale, bring them down to your heart. Inhale, reach. Exhale, fold forward. Stepping back with the left foot. Inhale, crescent. And exhale, framing the front foot and stepping back, following through your vinyasa as you lower down. Inhale, upward dog. And exhale, downward dog. Inhale, takes the left foot up. Exhale, draw that knee through, placing the left foot. Inhale, crescent. And exhale, frame the front foot as you step forward. Inhale, reach. Hands meet. And exhale, down to your heart. Inhale, reach. Exhale, fold forward. And step back with the right foot. Inhale, crescent. And exhale, dropping both hands. Take the left foot back. Follow through vinyasa. Inhale, upward dog. And exhale, downward dog. Nice. Taking a few breaths here. Making sure the breath comes all the way down to the belly. And then I'm going to invite you to hop, skip, or jump yourself to the top of the mat. Maybe just walking up. Halfway lift as you inhale, so taking the hands to the shins and tabletopping the spine. Exhale, forward fold, relax. Inhale, reaching high with the hands. And as you exhale, bending the knees, coming into Utkatasana. So if you've got lower back issues, feel free to take the feet out a little bit more, coming to shoulder width. Otherwise, keeping the feet together as best we can, making sure the knees aren't coming over the toes and bringing the weight towards the back of the foot into the heel. Take one more breath in here and exhale. Inhale, reach with the hands, allow them to meet, and exhale, bring them down to your heart. Inhale, reach, forward fold as you exhale, stepping back into your high plank and following through your vinyasa, and eventually meeting in downward dog. Your next inhale takes the right foot up, and as you exhale, bend through that knee, open the hips, keeping the knee fairly high, making sure both shoulders are still facing the front of the room. Inhale, straighten the leg, three-legged dog, and as you exhale, draw that knee to the right elbow. Inhale, kick it back, three-legged dog. And as you exhale, draw that foot through, place it gently between the hands, crescent lunge as you inhale. And as you exhale, bring the hands to the hips. Inhale, stay. Watching that foot alignment, making sure that front knee is just over the ankle. And as you exhale, dropping that left knee just so it touches lightly the mat. Inhale, straighten the back leg. Exhale, dropping that knee. Let it touch gently. Inhale, straighten the back leg. And exhale once more down. Inhale, this time straighten both arms to the sky. And as you exhale, open yourself out to Warrior Two as that left blade of the foot hits the back of the mat. And you're spreading the arms, pulling yourself to the back and front of the room. On your next inhale, we're going to sweep that left hand up to the ceiling as we turn the back foot to the ball, taking a reverse crescent. And as you exhale, wind both hands down, frame the front foot, step back, and follow through your vinyasa. Exhale, downward dog. On your next inhale, the left leg comes up. Bend through the knee, open the hips. Inhale, straighten the leg, three-legged dog. Exhale, draw that knee to the left elbow. Inhale, kick it back. And exhale, draw the foot through, placing it gently between the hands. Crescent lunge, inhale. And as you exhale, bring the hands to the hips. Inhale, stay. And exhale, that right knee drops down, touches the mat. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, down. Inhale, straighten. And exhale, down. That was the last one. Inhale, take both arms up. And as you exhale, open up Warrior Two, making yourself nice and long to either front and back of the room. On your next inhale, sweeping that right arm up as we turn the right leg, reverse. And exhale, winding both hands down, framing the front foot and stepping back, following through your Vinyasa. Invitation to hop, skip, jump yourself up to the top of the mat again. Halfway lift, inhale. Exhale, release. Inhale, sweep both arms up to the ceiling, finding Utkatasana. And exhale, bring the weight back into the heels. Inhale, straighten, reaching. And exhale, bringing the palms together down to your heart. Release the hands to your side, finding your mountain pose. We're going to come into tree pose now. So taking the weight into your left foot and bringing the right either as a pillar or a stable wedge, keeping balance. Otherwise, taking that foot to the inside of the left leg, just below the knee, or bringing it up above the knee, making sure we're not keeping any pressure on the knee itself. So once you've found your position where you feel comfortable and you can hold it, bring your hands in prayer and just breathing. On your next breath, invitation to straighten the arms, taking them above your head, and either keeping the hands open or maybe finding a mudra. So mudra, bring the first finger and the thumb together. And wherever you're facing, just bring a gentle smile to your face. Nice, releasing the hands back in prayer in front of you to the heart center. And then taking that right ankle, placing it onto the left thigh or knee, and then dropping down to your figure four. Slowly bending through that left knee, and maybe then crouching forward, allowing a little bit of a stretch to the back of the thigh. Keeping the balance, the stability and the shape. Then take your right ankle towards the back into a shoulder and a half width back, making sure that there's enough space width between the 2 feet, and then bring your hands to your hips and turning the hips so that they're facing the front. Inhale, keeping the back as straight as possible, and exhale, folding forward into your pyramid. Once you reach your depth, taking the hands down to the floor, or maybe a block, then this is where it comes handy. Otherwise, taking your hands to your shin and using that as support, making sure the back is nice and straight. So make sure you're not locking that front knee, so keep a little bit of microband in, and then come to your depth. Slowly bringing your bend to the front knee, stepping that right leg forward, taking an inhale, reaching high with the arms. Allow the palms to meet, exhale, bring them down to your heart. Release the hands to the side, and we're coming onto the other side, so bring the weight into your right foot, allowing the left foot to create a little wedge, or maybe, if you have the stability, bringing it to the inside of the right leg, or maybe even above the knee. So depending on what is comfortable for you, using that position. Once you've found that stability, allow the hands to come in prayer to your heart center. And then again, taking the opportunity to raise the arms up, come into your tree, whatever that may be, either palms open or finding a mudra. And again, finding that smile on your face. Nice. Releasing the hands down in prayer. It's the front of your chest. Releasing the left ankle to the right knee. And then again, dropping through that right knee. Slowly lowering yourself down. And then maybe reaching a little bit forward. Coming to whatever your expression is, your depth. And finally releasing, keeping that stability, taking that left leg a shoulder and a half back, and then bring the hands to the hips, allowing the hips to face forward, taking a deep breath in, and exhale, folding forward. Releasing the hands once you've found your depth, and again using a block or using the support of your shin, if a block is not handy. And remembering that micro bend in the front knee, just to protect the knee a little bit. And slowly bending through that knee and stepping forward. Inhale, take the arms up, reaching. Exhale, bring the palms together down to your heart. Inhale, reach with the arms. Exhale, fold forward, chest to thighs. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, either stepping back or maybe jumping back into your low plank. Inhale, upward dog. And exhale, downward dog. Taking a few breaths here. And taking one more deep breath in through the nose. Opening the mouth and exhaling, letting it all out. I'm going to invite you to hop, skip, or jump yourself back up to the top of the mat. So bending through the knees. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, release. And then taking the feet out to the edges of the mat and taking them out at about a 45-degree angle. Dropping the hips and finding your yogic squat, bringing your palms together to meet at the front, allowing the knees to push into the elbows, and then drawing the hands into the chest. So if this is a very easy pose for you, come a little bit out of your comfort zone and maybe step the hips a little bit higher, making sure that you're keeping yourself working a little bit. Option to stay here, or maybe placing the hands down, knees to triceps, and coming into your crow. So wherever you are, maybe this is where you are today, maybe straightening out the arms and coming into crane, bring the knees higher. And just staying there for a breath or two. And once you're ready, coming back to your yogic squat, and then finally seating down. And bring the soles of the feet together. Trying to draw the heels in towards the groin and making sure you've got a nice hold of the feet. Breath in, straightening the spine. And as you exhale, drawing the chest forward, but not forcing it forward so that the back is bulging out. Attempting to keep the back as straight as possible and maybe using the elbows to draw it forward before dipping low. And just staying for 2 breaths. Nice, releasing the feet. We're going to keep that bend in the left knee, taking the shin over across and then making sure the foot is engaged, taking the right leg to the back of the room and coming and finding your pigeon, making sure that it's nice and comfortable, either stepping that right leg back if needs be, or maybe taking that left leg a little bit more in, staying or pausing just for breath. Before walking the hands forward and finding your sleeping swan, either bring the elbows down in front of you or maybe even the forehead. And slowly coming up. Walking the hands back towards you And then taking that right leg, sweeping it around, taking the left foot, crossing over the right, taking that left hand behind you as support, and then taking that right hand across the knee, taking a breath in, and as you exhale, twisting yourself around, first from the navel, and then eventually allowing the head to turn around to its capacity. Making sure that left hand is just bracing the back, keeping it nice and straight. Engage that right foot as well, and make sure that that left foot is really planted. So staying just for 2 more breaths. And releasing slowly around. And we're just going to come into a little bit of a counter twist, coming over to the right hand side. Before moving on to the other side, bending through that right leg, engaging the right foot, and then taking that left leg behind you, coming up onto the shin, and finding your pigeon. And just pausing here for breath, and then eventually coming down and finding your sleeping swan, either elbows down, or maybe coming all the way down, finding your forehead to the mat. So there's a really nice stretch. I feel it really gets into the upper thighs and all those muscles that join into the hips. It really gives them a really nice stretch. Again, placing the hands down, slowly walking the hands back, sitting down and sweeping that left leg across to the front, and then taking that right foot across over, and then taking your right hand to the back as support. Left hand grabs that right knee. Inhale, straighten. And exhale, draw yourself around. Allowing the head to be the last to come across. Slowly releasing, taking that counter twist as we move to the left, and releasing. So having both legs in front of you, nice and straight, engage the toes so they're pointing up towards the ceiling, taking a breath in, reach with the hands, and exhale, come into a forward fold. Now remembering, we're not trying to grab the toes here, so if that's really difficult to, make sure you bend your knees a little bit so that you're not creating a massive curve in the spine and then pulling yourself forward, opening the shoulders. So you want to try and keep your shoulders nicely locked in, your back as straight as possible. You're trying to get your chest to come against the tops of your thighs, like so. And breathing. And slowly releasing the feet, making our way onto our backs. Bring the knees into the chest, give yourself a little bit of a hug. And then releasing that left leg out straight, flat on the mat, keeping the right knee pulled in towards the chest. Releasing the knee with your right hand, bring it out shoulder height, and then taking that left knee across and over the body, finding a supine twist, and maybe taking your gaze over to that right hand as the twist happens in the navel. Remember to try and keep both shoulders connected to the floor. So you want to have your chest, well, your upper chest as flat as possible. And slowly drawing that knee back to center, swapping the legs, so drawing that left knee into the chest, straightening the right. And releasing the knee with the left hand, which comes out to the side at shoulder height, and drawing that left knee over the body. Eventually moving your gaze to the left-hand side, making sure both shoulders are still connected. Take both knees back into center. And then open up, bringing your arms in between your knees, grabbing the outside blades of the feet, finding happy baby as we draw the knees down to either side of the chest and trying to flatten the spine on the mat.
Maybe a little swing from left to right feels nice. And once you've swung a few times, coming and finding a stationary happy baby. That sounds a bit like an oxymoron, a stationary happy baby. Happy babies are moving and jingling all over the place, aren't they? And eventually releasing the feet, bring the soles of the feet together, drawing the heels down to the mat, keeping the heels drawn in towards the groin, knees are kept open, and then bring the hands, one hand on your lower belly, one hand on the upper chest, towards your heart center, closing down the eyes if not already, and feeling into the mat, feeling into the presence of being here in the now. And to help you, focus on the belly as it rises and falls with every breath. Focus on the heartbeat coming through the left hand. And just feel it gently slowing down as the body comes to rest. Option to stay here for your Shavasana, the final pose, our corpse pose. Otherwise, following me and straightening the legs, allowing about a hip width apart from the feet, taking the arms to the side, and again allowing a little bit of space between the armpits and chest, palms facing the ceiling. Just allowing the whole body to come to rest, feeling like there's nothing you need to do, nothing you need to think about. Allowing whatever shopping lists or to-do lists to just move through the mind. And just try and focus on how your body's feeling, how the movement felt. Allowing the breathing to come back to normal. And taking any tension out of the face. So focusing on the eyes, releasing the tension there. Focusing on the lips, the cheeks. And taking one more deep breath through the nose. Opening the mouth and just sighing it out. Go ahead and pause the video if you need to, and stay here as long as you need. Otherwise, keeping the eyes closed and gently bringing the knees into the chest. Allowing the head to roll from side to side. Releasing the knees and just stretching the arms up above the head. And then allowing the knees to gently fall over to one side, the left or right. And making your way into a seated position facing the front of the room. And whatever you find more comfortable, Sukhasana, which is with your legs crossed, or maybe on your shins in a kneeling position. And once you're comfortable, bring your hands to your heart center in a prayer position. And just allowing the feeling of gratitude to wash over you. And as we did lying down, taking one more deep breath through the nose. Opening the mouth and just sighing it out. From my heart to yours, Namaste.